Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am so excited because I just received the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette 5-minute face on the go full face palette, and I have the shade Pretty Blushed Beauty, which is the lighter of the two. So we're gonna open this up, we're gonna play with this today. We'll see how it goes and I will give you guys my thoughts. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so in the spirit of just getting right into the video, I quickly popped on my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and I also used my Pat McGrath concealer. This one I actually mentioned that I wanted to pick up during the Sephora VIB sale. I didn't. I ended up getting it from the Pat McGrath sale because that was better. So I did pick this up in case any of you were wondering who saw my VIB wishlist video. Okay, so again, this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look of Love in a palette. So she did come out with two of these. One of them is slightly deeper, and I say slightly because honestly, I think either one of them could work for me. I feel like this is like for the light skin tones, and the other one is honestly for medium, if I'm being honest, which I don't love. But I just thought these were so beautiful. And then in addition to this, I believe this is launching today when I'm filming this. I'm filming this on April 28th. So I believe she's launching this afternoon. I ended up getting this on the early access pre-sale kind of thing. So I'm very glad I did. I just wanted to get a video up for you guys in case you're thinking of picking up one of these. So let's just open her up. First of all, the box is absolutely beautiful. The packaging is absolutely stunning. So I know she's come out with these before. I believe she came out with one around the holidays that I didn't pick up. And these retail for $75 US or $95 Canadian. She is also re-releasing her wedding lipsticks that she previously had out. And I believe there's also like a lip and cheek tint. I didn't pick up one of those because I haven't heard good things about them. Not the lipsticks, the lip and cheek tint. I just didn't need a lipstick, but the lip and cheek tint I have heard. So I just haven't heard the best things. So that's why I only picked this up. And again, it's super bougie, so I only picked the one that was going to work best for me. So opening up this beautiful palette. Okay, this looks stunning. So you get, I'm just going to move on over. So you get a bronzer, a powder, a blush. This is like a, looks like a very shimmery blush, a highlight, and 3 eyeshadows. Super beautiful, looks super convenient. Again, this is very light. So this bronzer is actually, it's not her Airbrush Flawless bronzer. This is the bronzer from her Filmstar Glow and Contour Duo. I think that's what it's called. This is her Airbrush Flawless setting powder. And this is really pretty. My only concern immediately looking at this is the blush. I mean, that's a small blush pan. Like, am I supposed to use an eyeshadow brush to put on my blush? I'm kind of concerned. I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm just kind of concerned. Like, that's a really small pan. I almost feel like, so you get, for the eyeshadows, you get a smoke shade, an enhanced shade, and like a glittery topper. I almost feel like the highlight could have gone here and we didn't really need this. I don't know. My opinion might change as this video goes on, so let's just get right into it. So, okay, I'm going to start with the Airbrush Flawless Powder. I believe this is supposed to be for light medium. I don't think so. It looks very light to me. See, I'm just going to brush this around the perimeter of my face. The Airbrush Flawless Foundation doesn't really require a lot of setting. And the powder is beautiful. It really is such a beautiful powder. Like, it just blurs everything out. Like, whatever your foundation didn't get, this powder just kind of brings the beauty back. Okay, let's go into the bronzer next. And even the bronzer is kind of awkward. Like, I don't want to get into any of the other shades. Let's try this. Oh, the bronzer is quite nice, actually. Okay. Okay, the bronzer is definitely deeper than the airbrush bronzer that I got during the sale. That one I actually think is too light. I got the shade Fair on that one, and I really think it's way too light. This is nice though. This is a really nice bronzer. I do enjoy this. I'm just gonna take just a bigger brush to kind of blend that out just a little bit better. Let me just show you a swatch of the bronzer. So that's just a quick little swatch of the bronzer. So it is very, very light. If you're much deeper than me, you're gonna wanna get the other one. They both look equally beautiful, but let's actually figure out how I'm going to go into this blush right here. Use this. I love this idea of a full look in a palette because it's true, you know, if you've got 5 minutes to get ready, something like this could definitely save you time, but I feel like you can easily mess up with the size of that blush. I'm getting a little bit, I'm not getting much. So I think the blush is pretty, but it's pretty sheer. I might be a little bit too sheer. So I really had to kind of like pinch my brush, pinch my bristles, and just go right in there just because it's so small. But like, it's a pretty color, but I will say it is very light and it's not super, super pigmented. Okay, let's go into that highlight right there. I'm just gonna take a little brush. The size of the highlight pan is perfectly fine just because, I mean, who really hits pan on a highlight in general? That's a beautiful highlight though. Like, it's, you could probably build it up to be super, super blinding, but for the most part, it's just like a nice, natural kind of, yeah. I really like that highlight. That's like a very nice, natural, more natural kind of highlight. So that's it for the face. I think the bronzer is beautiful. I think the blush, I think it's also very, very beautiful. It's just the pan size is so small. I can't get over that pan size. It's just so tiny, and it's not the most pigmented, but it is very beautiful. It does have a bit of a shimmer in it. I'll just try to show you a swatch. So you are getting, so it's just like this beautiful peachy shade. I'm hoping my lights don't wash it out, but it's just like this beautiful peachy shade with shimmer, and it's very beautiful. It's definitely, I don't normally go for shimmery blushes, so I'm kind of impressed that I like this, but I really do quite like that. And all of these shades, I do want to say, they are so buttery. Okay, let's go into the eyes, and I'm actually just going to use the bronzer really quickly. I'm just going to use it in the crease. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to prime with my Milani eye primer. I'm just going to sweep the powder all over my lids just to kind of set that primer down. Okay, so I just set down that eye primer with the setting powder in this palette. And I'm actually just going to take the bronzer in my crease before I actually decide to use that smoke shade. That's not necessary, it's just what I'm preferring to do right now. And oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's a really nice transition shade. And that is what I do like about this. It is quite versatile. This is definitely something I would use if I was in the office working and I need to do super quick makeup in the morning. I would definitely reach for something like this. And I think that's why I enjoy face palettes in general, just because these types of products they make life easier for the everyday person. Somebody who's not reaching for 10 or 20 different products every morning. This is really, really nice. That bronzer makes such a good transition shade. I'm going back in now, and I'm going to finally go into that smoke shade. I'm going to lightly take that on the outer corner and then into the lower crease as well. It's not even too dark. Like, I feel like it looks lighter on the eye than in the pan, which is kind of to be expected. I don't feel like with Charlotte Tilbury's shadows, I mean, in my experience, I just don't feel like you tend to get super punchy pigments. I feel like you get more wearable, kind of natural glam looks, and I don't mind that. I really enjoy that. It's just more wearable for every day, for the average person, for people who aren't on YouTube. This is nice. Okay, so I am really happy with how that smoke shade turned out. I'm going to go into number 2, Enhance, and I'm just going to kind of take that on the outer portion of the lid and in the inner corner. Not with this brush though, because that's not really working out. Okay, and again, same thing on this side, just all over the lid. And I will mention I'm not getting any fallout with these eyeshadows, so that is always a plus. So this is really pretty so far. Let me see if I can get just a little more payoff with the finger. A little, not much though. Yeah, really, really not much. Okay, so this is really pretty so far. I will say I do find it really, really pretty. I don't think it's as pigmented. It's definitely kind of Charlotte style. In my honest opinion, it's more like, it's not super punchy pigments. It's more of like a nice kind of wash of color, wearable. You can build it, but only to a point. That being said, so far, really like this. I really do like the way my eye look is turning out. It's just very neutral and soft, and that's kind of, often enough, that's just how I like my makeup. So I'm actually just going to go into this shimmer shade here. This is the Brighten shade, and I'm going to take it right on the inner corners and maybe on the inner third. I'm just going to take that with my little finger because I feel like that's the way I want to go. I was debating on doing a halo, but not today. Okay, so this one, the shine is absolutely beautiful. Okay, yes. Okay, so I take back my words. I'm not really needing this because I think it's really, really, really pretty. Okay, so I did get a bit of fallout with that shimmer, but that shimmer is just, that shimmer kind of made the palette for me, if I'm being really, really honest. Okay, and I'm actually just gonna go into that highlight shade really quickly. I'm gonna use that on my inner corner, and I'm gonna drag it down just a little bit. Okay, I think this is so pretty. So I really, really like what I ended up creating on the eyes. So I'm just gonna pop off camera really, really quickly. I'm going to throw on some mascara and lipstick, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I just put on my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk mascara, and I actually also used the Pillow Talk lipstick and lip liner, so I'm not changing out much there. Okay, let's get into my final thoughts on this palette. So first of all, outer packaging, so beautiful. On the back you have the shade names, and it's on this cute little heart sticker, which I think is really cute. And something I actually did want to mention was, I feel like this palette, like it's called the Instant Look of Love. I just feel like this would have been really appropriate for a Valentine's Day release. Like, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see it then. Let's start with the face. The face powder, beautiful. It's just like the, it's the exact same as her Airbrush Flawless powder. It's so beautiful. It's a little bit deeper than the one I have, but you can't really tell. I feel like my complexion looks super flawless right now, and I feel really good about that. So I really like that. This bronzer, so beautiful. I really actually want to order the Film Star Bronze and Glow, just because like that is such a beautiful bronzer. It's a beautiful shade. It blends beautifully. It looks kind of natural on the skin, and it is a lighter shade, so I don't feel like I look like a Cheeto. Which has happened. So I mean, that's a win, and it was just beautiful, and it's the butteriest bronzer that I think I've ever used. Okay, next, the blush, beautiful, not super pigmented though. I feel like you do have to build it up a bit, and it does have a slight shimmer to it, so if you're not into shimmery blushes, you might not like this blush. But again, I think my biggest beef is the pan size. The actual color of the blush is very beautiful. It's just that pan size, I feel like is impossible to use. I understand they only had so much room if they were working with this. I don't know. I just feel like the pan size for the blush just isn't doing it for me. Again, maybe the highlight could have been one of these shades. Maybe they could have made these actually a bit smaller and fit the highlight up there. I don't know, but I do know, not a huge fan of the blush being so small. The eyeshadow, the face highlight, beautiful. It is quite natural looking, so it's not a super blinding highlight, but it will give you a beautiful natural kind of glow, and I really do like that sometimes. I don't always want that blinding highlight. The eyeshadows, So good. You don't have to do what I did with the bronzer in the crease. I just thought it would give me kind of a nice base for my eyeshadow, and it really did. It blended so nicely, and it was the most beautiful transition shade I think I've ever used. This smoke shade, beautiful. Not too smoky, not too deep, just enough to kind of slightly enhance that outer corner. This middle shade here, beautiful all over the lid. It is a very light shimmer. You're not going to get this huge intense pale. I tried quite a few different brushes with that shade, and I found that an all over shader brush, kind of like a fluffy one, is what worked. Even with the finger, I didn't get more impact, and I really enjoyed it. But then I used this on the inner corner, and this shade here is the star of the show for me. Just, oh, it is beautiful. So it was definitely, I did this on the inner corner and love it. It's so pretty, so sparkly, so reflective, absolutely beautiful. I know at first I suggested maybe placing the highlight up here so the blush could be bigger, but I don't think I would have been nearly as happy with this palette if it didn't include this. So overall, I really like this palette. Aside from the layout issues, I really do quite like this. You're not gonna get super full glam. I mean, you could. Your definition of full glam might be a bit different from mine. So I would not get a super full glam makeup look from this. From this, I'm getting an everyday, I just want to reach for something really quick and do a full look kind of thing. And I really like it. And, you know, you can amp it up a little bit for sure. But this is definitely a very wearable palette, something you could wear every day, you know, reach for when you're on a hurry, like you're meant to. This is the 5-minute face on the go. This would be amazing for travel. You get a nice big mirror up here. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to blind you guys. And I mean, you can use these on the eyes too if you want to. You're not going to get an insane range of what you can do with this palette, but again, it's for a quick look. And it is very pretty. I mean, I'm definitely going to use it a lot. It's gorgeous. So I'm very happy with it. Do I think it was worth $75 or $95 for my Canadian friends? No, I don't. Particularly if you own her bronzer, her setting powder, things like that. Maybe not. Maybe not. If you don't own a lot of Charlotte Tilbury and you want to experience her products, her formulas, then sure. I think this is great. If you're not into super punchy pigmented looks, if you're not into super bold makeup, yeah, this would be great. But if you are into full glam, bold eye looks, probably pass on this. I can't speak for the next one up, but at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, the next one up is only a little bit deeper than this one. Like somebody with a deep skin tone, I really cannot see them enjoying this at all. And that is kind of frustrating. I just think that if you own a lot of Charlotte Tilbury, like if you already have some of her eyeshadows or you have her bronzer and setting powder, you probably don't need this. I just think it's very expensive for what it is. I think it's lovely. I think it's great for somebody who doesn't have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury, but who wants to experience the brand. Somebody who likes lighter makeup. Somebody who wants to just grab one thing and do a full face of makeup. I do think this is great. If you don't care about using different products and you already own a lot of Charlotte Tilbury, I would pass on this. It hurts me to say because I love Charlotte Tilbury so much. I just think it's very expensive for what you get. So that wraps it up. I do love this. I will absolutely continue to use it. I'm not angry that I purchased it. I just think that it's geared toward a certain type of person. That's all. So that's it. I don't hate it. I think it's very beautiful. I just think it's expensive for what it is, and it's definitely catering to a certain particular group of people. So that is where we leave it for today, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful. Are you planning to pick up one of these? Let me know in the comments down below. Or if you think of any questions, maybe I didn't touch on anything, leave those comments down below as well, and I will absolutely answer you. I answer every single one of my comments. So that is where we leave it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me as always. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!